Matthew, you mentioned the second run of the Sunshine Act. Eli Lilly has been in the news quite a bit, most recently because they've become the first $500 billion pharma company, but also because of their launch of their LillyDirect program, which has raised a few eyebrows. Tell me your perspective there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. They've partnered with Forum Health, who they do not own, to shunt patients to Forum Health so they can prescribe any FDA cleared medicine. But Forum Health obviously have a huge incentive to prescribe Lilly drugs to patients for weight loss. And when all is said and done, this is clearly an end run around the Sunshine Act. And earlier this year, we saw a New York Times expose around Philips, who were funding providers to set up arterectomy clinics. And so we're seeing medtech, figuring out how to get around the Sunshine Act. And I think regulators are realizing that. And I think we're going to start to see some new regulation be put in place now, some stronger regulation, because the Sunshine Act isn't doing its job.
Well, how do you make that balance between, shareholder value and patient-centered care? I mean, I'm sure these large organizations have always towed the line, and in some cases might have surpassed them. But there's a long-standing tradition of pushing the edge of regulation, and I'm sure there's a whole army of attorneys who have sorted through this program and made sure that every I is dotted and T crossed. At what point does it become heavier hand in regulating these companies?
That's a very hard question. Ultimately, we live in a free market, and that's awesome. And we all benefit from it. This is how we get the innovation. This is how we get the amazing drugs like the GLP-1s. This is how we get the amazing technology. There has to be that balance. It has to be patient-centric care, not shareholder-centric care, as you say. And that's hard, and that's what we rely on our regulators for. And they do a very hard job, and they do it well. So I can't answer that question, but we just have to rely on them. But we clearly have passed that point right now, and so we do need the Sunshine Act version 2.
Well, more to come. I'm excited to see what comes from a regulatory standpoint and the rest of 2024.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Thank you.